Welcome to the My CRA Lawyers credit repair journey. Now that journey starts when you first hear about us, and that could be this video. So this video is going to explain a bit more about what to expect next. So where to from here? Well, you know who we are, but we don't yet know who you are. To solve that problem, it's really straightforward. You can email us at docs@mycralawyers.com.au, or you can call us on 1300 667 218. It's most likely Susie will take your call or read your email. Make sure if you email us, you include all of your contact details like your phone number so we can call you back. The next thing we're going to need is your Equifax and your Illion credit files. We need both. Why do we need both? Well, it's because Equifax and Illion are two separate companies. They're the main two credit reporting bodies, Equifax the most important, and Illion the second. And how your information gets reported to them is they have their own individual subscribers, most of the banks and things like that. It's not uncommon for these subscribers to only subscribe to one or the other and not both. And that means if we don't get your Illion and your Equifax credit file, there might be something left on your other credit file that we haven't fixed. But don't worry, if there's a default on your Illion and your Equifax credit file, it costs no more to get it removed from the second one. So we need your Equifax and Illion credit files. It's okay if you don't have them, we can get them for you for a small fee. Keep in mind, you can get them yourself for free at illion.com.au and equifax.com.au. Once you get them, email them through. The next step is Susie will ask you a few questions and see if you qualify. If you do, she'll allow you to make an appointment at a capped rate of just $99 to speak to Rod. Now, the conversation with Rod's really straightforward. It's a Zoom session where you get to see each other. He'll explain your credit files on screen, explaining exactly what's on there, what's important, what's not, what you can remove yourself, and what you might need a hand with. You get to ask as many questions as you like, and Rod will answer them all fully and frankly in every conversation. By the time you finish the appointment, you'll know all of your options, what you can do yourself, what you might need a hand with, and if you want to engage My CRA Lawyers, what our fees will be. Rod can send you a written quote with a copy of our generic client agreement so you know exactly where you're going. You can make the decision in your time when you're ready, if you're ready. No pressure of any kind. As soon as you're ready to engage My CRA Lawyers, just let us know. We'll send you a tax invoice so you can make the payment for our fixed fee credit repair service. We'll send you out our client agreement, disclosure notices and everything else. We'll also start writing the letters to your creditors straight away. As soon as we get the documents back from you, we'll grab the letter of authority. That's one of the ones we get you to sign up front. We attach that letter of authority to the letter we've already written to the creditors for you. Now, the creditors have up to 30 days to respond. During that time, we'll make multiple phone calls and send them emails and follow-ups to make sure we get the documents back. In that letter we've drafted to your creditors is a list of documents they must hold to prove the legitimacy of your default or inquiry or anything else that's on your credit file. We request a copy of all of your personal information as allowed for by the Privacy Act. This includes things like the original contract, all of the internal file notes, all the notices sent, etc., etc., etc. Your creditor has the obligation to provide those within the first 30 days. If they don't, that in and of itself might be reason to have the default removed. What normally happens is they send some documents. We read those documents, go through them with a fine-tooth comb looking for errors or omissions in the way the default has been placed. Now, we've gone through over 8,000 pages of legislation to find out what they've got to do it properly. And we know the legislation better than any creditor in the country. It's not unusual for us to find 14 individual breaches in any one default listing. So it's highly likely we're going to find a breach in yours. Once we find those breaches, we write what we call a complaint letter back to the creditor saying, "Dear Mr. Creditor, here's where you've stuffed up. Here's why the default listing is unlawful. Please remove the default immediately." In most cases, they do that. Occasionally, a creditor might have an argument and that might draw it out a little bit further. In all cases, our process is so fine-tuned that if ever there's a delay, it's because that bloody creditor is the one who's not following the rules again, and they're not sending the documents or they're not doing something right. And that's even more reason for the default to be removed. Now, we've been doing this for a long time. The creditors know who we are and they know that we don't give up. There's a number of creditors out there that see the email come in from My CRA Lawyers and think, "Oh, another one." And they agree to remove the default because they know that we know where they've stuffed up every single time. So you're paying for those decades of experience to get this done quickly. In fact, the fastest ever on-record removal is just 14 minutes from when we sent that first email to the creditor until they responded saying they agree to remove the default. Be nice if that was yours. So we've sent the creditor the complaint letter. They often respond saying they agree to remove the default. Keep in mind that if you still owe money on the debt, we'd strongly suggest either negotiating the debt with the creditor or going into a payment plan, because now that the default's removed, their only next option if you don't pay is to take you to court, and that's going to cost you more money. Now, generally, once the creditor has given us the notification that the default is scheduled for removal, it'll take anywhere from 1 to 14 business days until it's actually physically gone from your credit file. And before you apply for finance, for goodness sake, get a new copy of your Equifax and Illion credit file. Don't just log in and get the old copy they've already sent you. Get a new copy and make sure the default's no longer listed on your credit report. And that's the process. We've been doing this for a very, very long time. We've helped thousands of people just like you. Now it's your turn so we can help you specifically. If you've got a bad credit rating that's holding you back, call us, email us, click the links in profile, reach out to us. We can help you today.